Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. In this one I'm going to be drawing this man in charcoal and pan pastel, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what my drawing practice looks like right now. I am recommitting to a daily drawing practice. I haven't done that for a while. I've been drawing sporadically. I've recently become kind of obsessed about charcoal portraits and really wanting to improve quickly and explore my style. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm spending at least an hour a day, most days, practicing. I haven't really been comfortable in a teaching role lately because I felt like there's so much that I need to work on, and I don't know if it's just imposter syndrome. I've just been feeling a bit more humble lately and uncomfortable in a role as a teacher and much more excited about being a student. I was just sick of portraits after having practiced it so much for my class, my portrait drawing class for Skillshare. Link in the description if you haven't seen that one. And now I'm back at it and I'm super excited about it, and it's all I really want to do. I'm obsessed about faces. I mean, I've told you several times on this channel about my favorite reference photo Instagram account, Earth's World. I've been raving about it in a lot of videos. It's like with birds for me. When I see a beautiful bird, it's like my fingers start itching and I just have to paint them. And it's the same with faces. And so this man that I'm drawing here is from that account, that Instagram account. And of course, I'll put the link in the description. I'm using almost exclusively pan pastel for this portrait, and as I've been doing now for a while for many of my portraits. If you're curious about this medium, check out one of my previous videos about pan pastel. Made a video about how I use it in my portrait drawings and also the process that I follow. It's the same technique that I talk about in that video I'm also using here. Pan pastel is really versatile. It's easy to erase. If I get something wrong, I can just erase it or I can just paint over it. It's a very casual process for me. I enjoy this kind of reckless mark making in a way. I'm not good at photorealism or planning too much or doing all of these elaborate wireframes, which I'm forcing myself to work on right now in the class that I'm taking. All of this stuff that I am teaching as well, because it is good practice. If you're not an experienced artist, if you're not experienced at drawing portraits and looking at the human face and the different planes of the face, then it's absolutely helpful to learn that stuff. But here I'm just kind of going off of my observation. I'm just looking and adjusting and readjusting and just trying my way forward. I'm calling this a drawing practice, but really it's more of a painting practice for me. Using pastel in this way with this tool, it's painting, it's not drawing. It's like the best of both worlds, It starts out as a painting, a really loose painting, and then it gets crisper. It more approaches a drawing at the end, and I think that's a really interesting way to work. I appreciate working with darker skinned people because it forces me to not be such a coward with my values. It's a common rookie mistake to not go dark enough and deep enough with the contrast and the values. It makes for a much more dramatic portrait if there's some really deep shadows and crisp highlights. And working with lighter skin tones, I feel like I don't challenge myself enough on that. I often just leave lots of white, the white of the paper. I'm using a white paper in this instance, and so I really have to work against that. So now I have arrived at this kind of ghost face stage that I talked about in my other video, where I have sort of like a ghostly outline of the face. And now it's time to go in and commit more to the form and to add those really deep darks, which I do with a charcoal pencil here. But I'm still keeping my lines very simple. I'm not trying to be photorealistic or over-render any parts of this portrait. I really just want to add some crispness very selectively to create that kind of contrast between soft and sharp and dark and light that I really enjoy in portraits and in paintings in general. So yeah, this is kind of the process that I'm working with right now, that I'm experimenting with. Pan pastel and charcoal just work so well together. I'm actually thinking about making a challenge for myself for October. I always get very inspired during October, and I have tried doing Inktober a few times. For a while I thought that ink might be one of my favorite mediums, but for some reason I just didn't click with ink at all. Not with ink pens and not with ink washes as much as I love watercolor, and so I never managed to finish Inktober. But what I would like to do this October is to draw more of those kinds of dramatic and kind of haunted looking charcoal portraits, you know, with a really dark background and sinister looking faces with a lot of shadow and drama in them. That's what I would like to do. Maybe I will draw haunted charcoal portraits of my favorite villains or something. It's an idea that I've had for a long time, and if you have any requests for villains or characters that you would like to see me do a like haunted house style charcoal portrait of, then do let me know in the comments. It would be so much fun to get some suggestions from you guys as well. I sure have a long list of my favorite villains from movies and TV and games. Of course, I won't have time to do them all, but I will have a lot to choose from. I'm just gonna leave you with the rest of this painting/drawing process. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another one.